to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Happy holidays, everybody. Welcome into Fox 5 Live. Today will be a short episode because, hey, it's the holidays, A. And B, Molly is not here today. So if you're tuning in to see Molly, she is, I believe, because I haven't seen her at all today, and I checked at the desk, and they haven't either, which means I believe she's out sick. I know she wasn't feeling well yesterday. So well wishes if you're watching, Molly. We miss you here. We hope you get better. And for everybody at home, we hope you're having happy holidays. Happy Friday. I'm sure it's going to be a busy travel day for a lot of folks, so let's get started. First off, here in D.C., not the worst day in the world. This is what it looks like live outside right now. Flags are waving, southerly wind today. We're going to be warming it up. We started nice and crisp and cool this morning, but we're in for a warming trend next 48 hours. In fact, by tomorrow, temperatures around the region in the 60s. So big kind of warm up here coming up. Let's go right to the models. Again, I'll keep my my face will be on standby. Hiya. But we'll keep it off so I don't kind of block things out here. Let's roll this forward. This is the new GFS coming in live right now. Has best chance for showers tomorrow morning in the D.C. region. I do think we get a little bit of a break. I can't promise it's going to be dry all afternoon, but I do think we get a little bit of a break in the afternoon, kind of in this time period, because that storm, generally speaking, you're going to get your rain up along the warm front and then down along the cold front. And you could dry slot in between a little bit with a nice southwest flow getting temperatures into the 60s here. You're fine here. North and west of town, you know, the Great Lakes, Erie, Columbus, Cleveland, those locations would do a little bit of snow early tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon. Maybe changing over in places like Pittsburgh, Western PA, maybe the mountains of West Virginia. But for the most part, here in D.C., Baltimore, Philly, New York, Boston, it's a rain event. This storm's taken what we call the inland track up the front range of the Appalachians, and that means that no snow for us. Well, watch as we get towards Christmas Day, though, things start to change a little bit, and that's courtesy of this guy. That's your Christmas Day event, if you want to call it Christmas Eve / Christmas Day event. And by Christmas Day, I mean pre-sunrise if you live here in Washington, D.C. So that guy kind of comes across. It starts to transfer its energy from the mountains during the late evening hours. You know, Christmas Eve snows up through Ohio, through Indianapolis and Indiana, down through Kentucky. Nothing huge here. Western portions of Pennsylvania as well could see a little bit of late Christmas Eve snow. An inch or two is all I really favor. Maybe a local place gets 2 to 4, but it doesn't look like anything. It's a little moisture starved, we'll put it that way. It's kind of cut off from the big pattern. Rolling it forward here in D.C., that would be our best chance to kind of mix something in, which would be during the early morning hours of that's 6Z Monday, which is 1 o'clock on Monday morning. So most people would be sleeping if we have a sleep pellet or two hitting the window. Again, just can't rule it out, but it's nothing, even if we do, it's nothing to worry about in terms of getting measurable snow here. Western PA looks a little better up through northern PA, up through northern New York. Those locations are the ones that could wake up with an inch or two of snow, and maybe more than that up through interior portions of New England as we continue to run through the day. You want snow falling on Christmas Day? There you go. That's where you want to be, is north of town. You'll have your mountain snows out here. You usually always do. But your measurable snow totals, your white Christmas days, maybe Boston gets a little bit, but I think the interior regions are where you're going to get your 3, 4, 5, 6 inch amounts up through New England, up through Maine. That's your white Christmas, and maybe some lake effect snow showers and such going around the Great Lakes. But as far as here in D.C., by the afternoon hours, we're pulling in a strong northwest flow. We're getting cold. But we're not seeing any snow showers for the most part. Nothing I see indicates that we could get snow showers or flurries on Christmas afternoon. So our only real chance would be before sunrise. So if you think you're waking up to something Christmas morning, I'm sorry, you have it wrong. You're not going to see anything if you sleep through it. Whatever comes during the overnight hours. And again, not everybody would see it anyway, and it wouldn't be much in the first place. All right, continuing forward, this model's still coming in, so it's kind of got the early signs of it there at the end. But we'll have to go back. I'm going to go back 2 model runs because I like the 0Zs, 0 and 12. I won't go into too much detail here, but basically your 0 and 12Z runs are what we call fresh balloon runs, meaning they send these weather balloons, I'm sure you've heard of them, up, but they only do it in the fresh data gets fed in for the 0Z and the 12Z. The 6Z comes in during the morning. That's the morning run of the American. It sort of uses that old data move forward. Same deal with the 18Z, which is the evening model. You want your overnight run, which is the 0, and you want your mid-afternoon run, which is this one right now, because that's got all the fresh data. You want the latest and greatest data. And again, the 12Z is rolling in now, but it's not out far enough to capture what everybody's talking about. And what everybody's talking about is the storm. First, I got to set the stage for temperatures, and no doubt about this, watch the cold kind of come in. So I mentioned right there, here we are in DC. I mean, you see the warmth coming up. You know, even 40 degrees in Pittsburgh on Saturday is not such a bad day for late December. But here in DC, we're up ahead of the storm enough that we should bubble into the 60s, low 60s to even mid 60s in a few spots. But then watch the cold come on after that. See all that blue kind of move on down, and then we do get cold. No doubt about that. You're going to have a nice upper level low swing from up here down into this region over here. You're going to rotate energy around it and pull in nice cold Arctic highs. So we will get cold in the days after Christmas. Honestly, starting Christmas Day and going beyond, we're going to see the, oh, look, I'm pointing things out on a map that doesn't exist. There we go. Okay, so let me rewind that back. Again, you can see the warmth. Let's go back. Warmth for Saturday, and then look beyond Saturday. Here comes the cold. Sunday into now Monday. Going through the day Monday, temperatures are probably going to drop most of the day, and then the cold just kind of settles in for the rest of the week, and that's key for what happens later next week. Because if you want a snowstorm here in DC, you need to get things cold. If you want a good snowstorm here in DC, you got to get things cold for a few days. We cool the ground. We do teens and 20s at night. That'll get the ground nice and cold and ready to hold snow. So if you want a big snow event, that's at least step one to getting things organized. Let's go back to the moisture, because everybody's been chatting about this the last few days. Nice, strong storm starts to develop down here in the south. It's a piece of energy that comes, I'll show you this in a minute, comes from the north, dives down to the south, starts to develop there, gathers some Gulf moisture, and then boom, it'll start firing itself up the coastline, assuming this model's right, which is always dangerous. But that's a good snowstorm here in DC. It does change over the rain there, but honestly, in my professional opinion, you got a 1043 high up there. Don't worry about what that number means. Just know that's a very strong area of high pressure, which is going to shove your cold air down. I don't think we'd mix. In fact, I think this transfer would happen here. It would go up the coast, and you'd honestly be dealing with a blizzard if this model is correct. Interesting enough, the European, so that was the American end of things this morning. The European model this morning did much of the same. So this is the European I'm showing you right here. The European also had a snowstorm, mid-Atlantic region, next Friday-ish time frame. Same deal with the GFS. It's sometime between next Thursday and Saturday is when the models are kind of keying in on this. Here's what I caution. It is early, very early. Usually when we see the big ones coming, we can see the big ones coming a little earlier than the other ones. But I urge and caution everybody to be careful with your snow totals, be careful what you see on social media. I will give you deadlines here in just a second of when I think we can start taking things a little bit more seriously with this storm in terms of if things continue to remain consistent. And we'll keep an eye, because again, this is the morning run of the American. The new run of the American is coming in as we speak. It's only out to hour 144 here. So it is going out to, this is now Thursday morning. So you're already starting to get some of the early signs of a development in this region here. But we have to wait. We'll wait and see. You got your high pressure off to the north there. It is extended out, so you're brutally cold here to start at least. So good start from the 12Z, but we'll see what it does with the energy here. It's going to take a few more minutes to continue the run here. All right, here's the deal. Let me take myself off air here. I'm a pattern guy. I watch the patterns. I watch the upper level patterns. This is the upper levels of the atmosphere. Saturday's warm because we got a ridge. We're obviously right here. So we're warm under the ridge, under the oranges and under the oranges and reds there. That's your ridge. You got a big upper level high down here. Let me erase that. Big upper level high down here. That's southwest flow around it. See, everything's kind of coming out of the south and west there. You're going to get a nice warm up thanks to this guy being where it is. All right, backing things up.
Happy holidays! Merry Christmas!
Hold on, you're not on. Nobody can see you.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Oh, why? But Tucker, don't leave me. Don't leave. Tucker Barnes, everybody.
Everybody's like, who's that?
Yeah, well, everybody.
Is your mom watching again?
I think so.
Hi, Mrs. Mikey. Mikey needs a girlfriend. Everybody needs to help him.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for Christmas. Bye, Tucker. Have a good Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll see you on Wednesday. Yes, I'll watch it. The new GFS is almost out to it. All right. Sorry about my dear friend there. All right, back to this, guys. Again, I'm a pattern guy. I watch it, and let's scoot that a little forward. Number one thing I'm watching is super block up there in the Arctic, and then nice west-based NAO block up across Greenland. That's that red you see up there. That forces cold air south. Second thing I'm watching, watch this, see this circle right there? See the black, let me uncover it. See that black line I'm going to trace over? That's your upper level low. Watch as we get out towards the middle of next week, how that switches over and it goes from, and let me trace things out again. This right here is the Hudson Bay, kind of goes right down in there. Watch as we get out into the middle of the week as that upper level low swings to the other side of the Hudson Bay. So now the upper level low is here, and basically what that's going to be able to do is help push these pieces of energy that come out of Canada. It's going to be able to dip them a little bit farther south so they can pick up more moisture and then come up, and they'll rotate around this upper level low because things rotate counterclockwise around these big areas of low pressure. That guy can't escape north, not with this block right here. So that's key number 2. So that's something I do like if we're talking snow here. All right. We push out to what would be storm day, nice big trough bombing into the eastern half of the country. That's your storm energy right there, and you'd kick something up the coast here. So look, here's the general thing. If these models don't change at all, whether you think the odds of that are, things always change a little bit, the details are missed, then both of them are predicting a halfway decent snowstorm here at the end of next week. What's up, Bill? Merry Christmas. So it's most certainly worth a watch. It's probably the best pattern I've seen this winter so far. It's the best pattern I've honestly seen since January 2016, which was the last big blizzard. I do want to stress this. It is not January 2016. There are differences between the blockbuster snowstorm we had then and what this would be. This would be kind of your more run-of-the-mill coastal storm that would have the potential to give us a decent snowfall here in Washington. But we have time for things to change. So what I'm showing you are just model data, and none of this is in the forecast yet until we see more consistency, though I will say over the past 24 hours we have seen a halfway decent amount of consistency in this little pattern of ours. Last thing I'll hit on is the energy. This is kind of where I'll give you the times to watch. So let's go out. First off, there's your Christmas so-called storm. And again, with that energy far back to the north and west like that, your best chances of accumulating snows are going to be along the front leading edge of that energy. Whoop, I keep doing that. Front leading edge of that energy, and then you see it blows up a little bit up towards New England. So that's your upward motion field, and that's where you're going to get the most snow on Christmas Day, is up to the far north. So sorry, DC, we're out of this one. We'll be lucky to squeeze some flakes out pre-dawn on Christmas Day if we're able to do anything at all. Getting out into next week, watch again. Here's your feature. You can better see this circled upper level low up here to the north. Watch as it rotates over to the east of the Hudson Bay there, and then watch your energy. So key day. Honestly, if things don't change by Christmas, we can start to really kind of go gung-ho on this thing, but it's just Friday. That is 3 days away. But the key features to watch here are the day of greatest importance is Wednesday, because according to the models, that is when this upper level energy right there is going to start to come ashore. That is your storm. That's your storm energy way out there. Your upper level low is here. Your next shot of cold. So this upper level low is going to grab another piece of energy up here, and this guy is going to help suck in some Pacific moisture here. This will dive south. This will come across and help keep the cold in. And that is what's going to help you try and develop a storm towards the end of next week that we need to watch. So let's keep going. Watch that feature. There we are. Let's get out to Thursday morning. Energy diving here, your cold shot back there, your upper level low still up here, pulling everything eastward. That's all good. And this low, this upper level low, is east of the Hudson Bay. That's also very good. Let's continue, and let's do a comparison. All right, so that's everything from the European. Let's go to the American. Only difference really in the American is timing. It's still sort of Wednesday. It's a little faster getting the energy on shore. But in terms of where the upper level low is, and in terms of where that upper level piece of energy is, it's very similar to the European model, which is nice to see if you're trying to make a forecast. Let's go out to 12Z time frame. We'll go out to 12Z Thursday. I believe that's when that was. So similar but different. I mean, that's the European at that time. So Euro, American, Euro, American, Euro, American. Kind of the key points to note are that the American is a little, that's your upper level low there on the American, so it's a little farther. I don't think it's going to escape, not with the block up there, I don't think it's going to escape that far north and west, or north and east that fast. But your storm energy is almost in the same place, and there's your upper level piece of energy. So storm energy, upper level piece of energy, let's go back and forth. Very similar. I mean, for being so far out in the forward, there's 156 hours out. For being so far away, it's similar. Let's erase it and click on forward here. Let's go out to Friday. Big important day here, Friday. Features, key features are there. Let's go forward. So this is 7 o'clock on Friday morning. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. That might mess me up a little bit. Let me go back. Give me 1 sec. We'll get back out to Friday morning. Friday at 12Z. So this is next Friday, not today. This is a week from today. Look at now. The differences are a little bit more noticeable there. Europeans bringing it across. GFS is back. GFS is back here with everything. There's your upper level piece of energy. Your upper level low is way up here. Again, I don't really like that. I think this has to be a little bit farther down to the south and to the west there. Not that that would be a terrible place for it to be, but I would prefer to see it up in this region. Anyway, so there's your energy diving south. There's your main piece, but look at the difference in the Euro now. Now, in the Euro, you got your upper level piece coming in there and your lower level piece there, and you're starting to get, you have a positively tilted trough right there, and you're going to try and, oh no, I'm sorry, you have a negatively tilted trough, or at least a neutral trough by that point, which is important because remember, once a trough, I've mentioned this before, when a trough goes negative, you start to pull moisture in from the west. When the trough is positive, you're still kicking. So that's the difference. So European is basically snowing, I believe, on Friday at 12Z. Let me confirm with that. That's yeah. So that's the European at 12Z, whereas the American, and we'll have to go back for it. In fact, let's see. Okay, so guess what? The American did it again with giving us a storm. But let's go back to 0Z because I want to compare it with the energy I'm showing you guys. So 0Z I'm sorry, 12Z Friday, Euro. So Euro's got the storm basically Friday morning, whereas the storm hasn't really gotten here. You see the storm's still organizing itself in the American end of things. Which one's right, which one's wrong, I don't know. It's going to depend on who gets the energy back. But if GFS is right now showing the storm more of a Friday, Saturday thing, whereas the European is more of an all-day Friday thing. Just know that's the difference. But it's honestly, it's textbook, guys, for getting a storm in here. These are mean sea level pressure anomalies. So when we talk high and low pressure, this is the European ensemble. I tweeted these images. Have I been talking with just myself on the screen for a while? I think I have been. I think I have been. My fault. All right, let's go back here. I'm sorry if I did that. I think I just screwed everybody up. My bad. Anyway, all right. These are called mean sea level pressure anomalies. These are where highs and lows are basically going to set up. This is next as we get out to next Saturday. I got to change colors so you can see it. Boom. So nice big high up here. Nice big high stretched across the top, which is what the upper level low helps do. You got a upper level high here. It's not quite, there is another high pressure system way out here. It's not quite a banana high yet, which would be if the reds wrapped around like this, which is what January 2016 was, which was perfection in terms of big storms. It doesn't get any better than that. That was textbook. This is like half a banana-ish sort of thing. So you do have room for the low to slide off to the east. So that's worth a watch. But look at where the so-called weakness is, the so-called weakness in the pattern. Look where your yellows fade to whites. That's in this area here. So what that suggests is that somewhere in there, there's going to be a storm that comes up. And this is an ensemble, which means it's many, many members of the European model kind of put together. The moral of the story here is that as far as just watching the pattern goes, I like it. I like the pattern in general for getting some sort of snow in here. I've liked it for a week now because the models have been pretty consistent with things for a week. If you watch me on Facebook at all, Mike Thomas Fox 5, I've been doing these videos every other night for the past week saying, watch out between Christmas and New Year's. That's the next time I see the potential for anything. Obviously I can't guarantee it. I'm a weatherman. We don't make any guarantees. But it's still so far this winter, and in fact, more so than anything I saw last winter, that has the best potential to give us something next week that I've seen in a while. So hopefully that gives everybody a little hope if you're a snow lover, and I'm sorry if you're not. It is before the New Year's holiday, which makes things tricky, and especially if you have New Year's Day plans in New York, or not that this would all be out of here by New Year's Day, but depending on how much if it happens, I got to do a lot of ifs. If it happens, depending on how much it drops, it could really cause a little bit of chaos. You're going to see a lot about this on social media over the next few days. People are going to be talking about it. Weather weenies, as we like to call them, myself being one as well, are going to be talking about it a lot. I will tweet about it. I'm not here until Wednesday next week. I'm off until Wednesday. But I will tweet about it, Mike T. Fox 5 on Twitter. I will Facebook about it. And if need be, if we roll on through the weekend and things still look thumbs up, I'll have to start doing Facebook videos every night where I update totals and, we watch models come in and we get this storm handled and keep you ahead of the storm as best we can. So just know, I wouldn't worry about it through Christmas. I would relax. I would enjoy your holidays. It's not going to move up so fast that, it's the day after Christmas all of a sudden. That won't happen. But I do think it is worth a watch towards the end of next week for potentially getting something in here. All right, that's all I got, guys. I will not see you again until Wednesday here on the YouTube channel. Molly is not here today, so we have no news coming up after this. It's the holidays. I hope she feels better. And as I kind of introed here, Molly was thinking about you here. We hope you feel good. So all of us here at Fox 5 wish you all very happy holidays. I hope your Christmas is safe. I hope your New Year's is safe, although I'll be here before New Year's. But regardless of what holiday you are celebrating, I wish you all very happy holidays, safe holidays, and I will see you next week. All right, guys, take care. Have yourselves a great holiday weekend. And I will end you with a live look. Well, you know what? I got the music playing. Man, that was such a good outro, too. But let's do, before I start jamming out to Jingle Bells again, 7-day forecast here in D.C., just so you can see it. So 64 tomorrow, on and off showers. Best chance is going to be the morning and then the evening for those showers with maybe some dry pockets in the afternoon. Sunday's not a washout. In fact, it's far from it. It's mostly just cloudy all day. It's late in the evening into early morning, pre-dawn hours of Christmas Day that we could potentially do a little mix. And again, I think it's a stretch, but throughout the day, Christmas Day, skies will start to clear. We'll turn sunny by the afternoon. Temperatures will plummet. Second half of the day there on Tuesday, we're below normal, and we're looking at highs in the 30s late next week, and that would set the stage. I mean, look at that high on Thursday, 33 degrees, which means 90% of the day, 95% of the day would be spent below freezing, and lots of our suburbs wouldn't make it out of the 20s, and that's going to cool that ground. And if we do have something come up like next Friday, Saturday, then, and that ground's at 20 degrees, watch out, because then every flake will stick and we'll be cooking with gas. So we'll see. Again, we'll watch it through the weekend. I'll let you know if anything changes. Now I will cue up the music again. Wish you all a very happy holiday and sign off one last time. I will see you next Wednesday. Hopefully Molly's better and back by Tuesday. We probably won't do anything Christmas Day. But again, very happy holidays from all of us here. And we'll see you next week. Live look at the Capitol to send things off here. Again, I'm going to end this video actually because Molly is not coming on today because she is not here. Take care, guys. Happy holidays.